Good morning, today 200. 200 days on site. That's over 6 months, 10, 15 days over 6 months. So please like and subscribe if you're watching the video. Keep on pushing that now, we seem to be getting quite a bit of traction, which is great. Sorry about the noise, we're doing stuff. So today's goal, the doorways at the background, you can see they're measuring out. We need to physically get those sloped at an angle to try and make sure that when the doors are in, the rain runs off the windows and away from the house. Armory, the mason, is at the front finishing off. In fact, open up the doors, you can actually see. So he's out here finishing anything that needs to be concreted. So the concrete into the walls, they need to be finished off. Anything that's not supported properly, so there's a couple of pipes down there that haven't been blocked up and concreted like this, they've got to be sorted out as well. And then this is going to be backfilled in the next day or two as well, so we're focusing on that. The guys have just arrived to continue with the roof. There'll be crack penetration today and second coat. Oren is actually making a jig for us to physically plane down some 2x4s so we can actually do the battening for the walls. I'm not too sure what's going on in here, but they're doing something down here as well. Let's look at what they're doing down there. They're doing something underneath there. Ryan has arrived with Hellcat, so I can actually go over that pipe. I told him he can. So literally what he's doing today is bringing the soil from over here around, and he's starting to push everything in and level off around here, so that's going to be good. The plumber is en route. He's basically saying that that is going to be redundant now, and he's going to be refixing the pipework all the way around the outside. As you can see, it's sort of a big floppy thing. That's going to be 2 inches underneath the main line around the building. It's going to be fixed all the way around. We may have to remove those dust sheets, dust protectors today, just purely because they're too low and we need to get right to the wall. So we'll have to see how that goes. The cleaning yesterday gave a bit of a clean up, which is quite nice. Biggest task today for me is removing this wooden track that we had put in the ground, where the door tracks for the big sliding doors will go. Now, one thing we've discovered is that the wood itself is 7 inches and the door track is 7 1/4. So obviously we love a challenge, don't we? So we're gonna have to dig that out, and it looks like we're potentially gonna have to grind with a disc grinder the whole length of the building another 1/4 of an inch out. So as you can see, it's 40 foot long on that side and it's mirrored on the other side. So we may have a real issue to contend with today. And then I've got to order the wood to build the track above here, because the doors themselves, as you can see, are going to sit behind the wall. So we're going to build a framework off of the wall above for the framework to fit into. Now, another thing I've discovered, which may be the issue, another issue, is that the doors have actually been made 8'2". So that means that the doors may be 2 inches lower than this. If that's the case, and we also remove here as well, we're going to end up having the door frame down lower than this piece here, which means I'm going to have to build a box all the way along, because there's no way I can have those doors open and see a drop down. That's just going to do my OCD completely in. So it looks like we're going to have to potentially build a framework that goes across the white mortar that we've plate had put in, which is a real pain in the arse. But again, these things are sent to try us, so it looks like we're going to get tried yet again. So we need to remove this rodding, as they call it. We need to remove the rodding today so we can physically start working on that. I'm not too sure what they got with the roof over there. They need to work on that today, because obviously those guys need to seal it. So hopefully the masons are going to focus up there. And then today, obviously, I need to be working out. I need to order the wood. So what we're going to do is 2x8s fixed into the ceiling down to here. We're going to do a few drops all the way along, probably 5 drops. And then we're going to fix the door frame into those 2x8s, and then we're going to make a ladder system that goes all the way along, that the whole door track can be screwed into all the way along. And we're going to do that on both sides. So I need to measure up how much wood we need and start getting on that sooner rather than later, because obviously these doors need to go in at some stage, I would say early next week. I'm hoping that the plumber is going to arrive soon to finish off what he's got to do. The electricians are making some good progress, but again, I want to try and start working through here today as well. So I need the actual drops on the walls here to be done as well. So on this wall here, I need all the actual conduit drops, all the power points put on here, because then we can start plasterboarding through here, because I want the kitchen started sooner rather than later. What else is going on? We've got carpenters doing some things. I'm not too sure what they're up to. One's making a jig, and we're literally going to be planing this wood down into 1-inch pieces, so 3 out of each piece. That's what's going to go onto the walls here. We're going to bolt that into the wall or screw it into the wall, and that's going to become the battening, if you like, off the wall that the plasterboard will go over the top of, and that will be for all walls. So even in here, as you can see if I show you, the biggest problem we obviously have is that coming off the wall with the actual, so as you can appreciate, that socket is 2 inches, so it's going to be a tight fit, that's for sure. And obviously we've got some bits that have obviously been chiseled off, but you've also got some differences in width and height. So we're going to put obviously a 2x4 piece on here that's been planed down to 1 inch wide, but obviously over here, as you can see straight away, there's probably about 10-12 mil, but this is more thicker than here. So we're going to have to play around with the laser and try and make sure we get that right. And everything can't be any more than the 2x4 that we'll put on the wall, just purely because with the actual the wood and the board itself, we've got a clearance to be made. So we were going to go for inch, but that can't happen. Also need to get the insulation today as well. So I spoke to the guy that does all the walls. He just said, it's not something he normally does, so I need to go and source something with insulation. It's really not about temperature, although if someone's got air conditioning in here really cold and someone next door doesn't, we want to make sure that's trapped. It's really about making sure the noise doesn't fly through. So I'm going to try and source that today as well. So it's the wood today, wood, insulation, door tracks is mainly for me. The other guys, they're going to be doing the runoffs on the front here. So they were all done yesterday, as you can see. They did all those yesterday, so they are all now finished off, which is nice. I'm not too sure they did that or all of that. They should have gone all the way to the very end. I'm not around managing everything. It just doesn't work. We should have, that white should have gone all the way to the very end, because the doors are going to go through that. So we need as much height there covered as possible, because I think we've got 2 inches again there. So that's a little bit of a disaster. So, but anyway, I have to do that again today. And the white mortar guys, when they turn up, they're going to have to obviously do these as well. This line is the threshold down the bottom, but the doors are 3 1/4. So we're going to have to put rods on here at 3 1/4, and again, that bit there is going to have to be white mortared as well. So, and that needs to be done on all of the actual door entrances. So that's one thing they need to get on with. Other than that, it's just this piece here now that needs to be sorted out. So we've decided now to put the door runners where this line is. They were meant to be sitting down in here, so they were flush with the floor, but it just doesn't work. So we're now going to have to screw into this floor here to have a step, which also means that we've now got to create, from this floor edge, we've got to create a slope off. And we've got to do that on all of these as well, just so that the water, obviously any water that does hit the window comes straight off and falls off. Other than that, that's pretty much where we are for the day. So checking a little bit later on when I know a little bit more as to who's turning up and what's going to be done. So the Bobcat, lorry and excavator boys are here, and things are starting to take shape, thank God. Okay, so we've got lorries going in, dumping soil as we speak. Excellent, we'll come and have a look. So we're now we've had about 3 loads put in there already, and we're starting bobcatting off. So what we're doing is taking the soil that we dumped over there and bringing it back. We're going to have a quick look where we are now. So the soil is now coming up. And then what we're doing is obviously we're leveling off around here. Starting to get it done around here, look. Just putting down into the septic areas. Take that all the way down the side as well, so we're going to come around here. We're also going to go down the side over there as well. So we've actually tucked the water pipe up out of the way. And the mains water is off at the moment as we speak. And this is some of the soil that I kept. They wanted to take all the soil away, so they charge you to take it. So if you've got somewhere you can actually keep the soil that you take out, it's always worth keeping. Because number one, you're going to need it to put things back as they were, and number two, you can always sell it. Worst case scenario, you have to pay 100, 150 to get it taken away, which never ideal. But lucky enough, we had an empty bit of land next door, so we've used next door to store it. Now, hopefully that means we can bring it back at no cost, and we just have to bring in some more topsoil and finish off. Also, the guys are upstairs, obviously doing this apartment. God, it's taken some time to do. The back scoops, the little ramps at the back are being done. Oh no. So we've got some squares being dug out on the wall, so they've cut them with my grinder, and then we're just trying to break them out with a hilty so we don't end up making massive great holes. So fingers crossed that's okay. Basement's all been swept out. Sharon's been down there doing that, which is good. I'm not sure where we are with that at the moment. Oh, they've been obviously putting the well creek down before they do that. And like I said, the guys have been up there actually doing the sealant. These guys are making a table saw. This is going to be one table saw, guys. This must be one hell of a table saw. So yeah, at the moment, obviously we're using the lorries to fill up with an excavator. So we've got an excavator on hire, we've got Bobcat on hire, and we've got the lorries at 80 a load. So Mel's down here waving away. What does he want now? All day it's like, miss. I feel like a teacher or a mother. Every 5 minutes it's miss. I'll see you in a minute, George. George has finally turned up, thank God. Any shit done by him ASAP. And these guys are trying to box up the holes so that when we backfill, we don't fill the manholes with soil. So anyway, lots going on, so still lots to do the rest of the day. A little bit more of an update on the actual backfill. We're now obviously a little bit higher up in the air now, trying to just get around the corner of the well. The well's still got to be finished off, obviously. The soil itself is now getting to level. We're still going to have to push the soil down there, down the side. But as you can see, we're at height. The septic tank holes need to come up by about another foot as well, so we're going to have to go and buy some more of those. As you can see, we're nearly at height there already. But we've still got probably, if you brought that over, we're about a foot higher. So Beckles is distraught about his steps because the guys from Ready Mix took all the actual connections, holding all the steps in place off. All the steps are bowed outwards, so he's really pissed off. So we're going to be increasing that, increasing the height of here. So there's the manhole there. Looks like we're going right across, all the way across here. But obviously we've got to go and find some more sleeves for these before we can actually take this bit any higher. Progress is being made here, that's for sure. It makes it look completely different just being up in the air, that's for sure. Let's have a 2:45 update, shall we? Okay, Smithy's in there doing more Kango fun. That's basically taking the 2 or 3 inches of height, unfortunately we've lost from the ceiling for the extractor 4-inch pipe that's got to go out the wall. Some unknown reason, rather than being up against the ceiling, it's dropped down by about 3 inches. We've now got to chase through, otherwise the pipe is lower and it doesn't fit in the ceiling void. So he's doing that. We have a Bobcat man in now. Let me just show you in fact rather than... So we have some topsoil going on just to make it look more prettier. We've leveled off most of it. It's not where it needs to be at the moment, but it's nearly where it needs to be. The topsoil obviously just finishes it off for obvious reasons. Around the side here, the grease trap's being poured with concrete. So we need to get that finished before we actually get the soil down the side, because again we've got to get the soil right down. I'll actually go down and show you what I mean. These guys are actually plastering in the actual plug fittings. These guys are planing down the wood. So this guy here is spraying the wood itself with pest treatment. I think it needs a day job. Right, bit of a mess around here, this needs clearing up. So the side return, as you can see, the wood is now coming down the side return. We've just poured the top of the manhole there. So we need to make sure that goes off pretty quick so we can start pouring around. Then we want to try and take the soil down here and around this corner. Obviously all of this wood is actually going to be going. teaching the guy how to spray. Okay, in here we're now starting to take the tracks out of the floor to work out where we are with that. As I said just a minute ago, we're now plastering in the electric sockets so we can start getting those walls battened. Plasterboard's going up, thank God. There he is. Okay, so we've got plasterboard going up in there. We've seen the rooms through here. These are all pretty much as they were. So the guys were actually plastering the slopes. So this is the initial scratch coat that enables the white mortar to go all the way to the very edge. So this is just to create the first slope. We have like about a 1/4 of an inch drop from the main floor in here to here, just so that we can actually, from that angle now, we're going to get white mortar straight down to the edge so that when the water drips down the windows, it drips off of the actual fronts themselves. So that was a bit of a mission, but we got there in the end on that one. So that will go off and we'll get that finished, and then we actually need the white mortar to here as well. So the doors are going to go here, so we need to white mortar this piece as well. So we're going to have to obviously rod those, very similar to what we've done here. Okay. What else? What else have we been doing today? We've got a surplus of labourers, all seem to be sort of standing around, so we need to try and utilise these guys. So as you can see, door track's coming out, but we've just found out that we might have actually made this of 1/4 of an inch too thin. And that's a big problem. So we are definitely going to have to look at something. Well, we'll have to remeasure it, make sure it's 100%. If it is wrong, then unfortunately we're going to have to literally 1/4 of an inch grind out the concrete all the way through the whole building, which, as you can appreciate, is going to be painful as hell. That's what happens when you make mistakes, unfortunately. I think the guys on the roof have done the first coat on this building here, and I think they're finished. We're certainly finishing off the coat on the building behind me. Not seeing anybody up there, so I'm assuming they've actually finished. So yeah, we made quite a bit of progress today. So the land is actually starting to come along a little bit more. It's starting to look a little bit more like a back garden rather than a bomb site. Still waiting for the man with the well to get in touch, so we're not having any luck with that one, unfortunately. So fingers crossed we'll get someone else to jump in if they don't come back to us. Hopefully they'll come back and they'll just get it sorted, but when things go quiet, there's normally a reason. So let's see what happens in the next day or two. It's Christmas week after all, people do go on holiday, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt. And then we'll see what happens from there, really. But at the moment, I would say at the moment, we're probably going to be looking for someone else to take that. So I'll update you a little bit later on. Okay, 4:05. Let's have a quick look where we are. Lots of planing with wood. Lots of sawdust as a result of that. It's been blowing everywhere today as well. We're taking out the wood structure in and around the columns at the back, which I'll show you in a second. And the masons are actually now filling in all the actual holes in and around where the plug socket has been put today. So let me have a look. He's up there just taking the last bits out of the formwork, which is quite difficult. Anthony's obviously putting mortar in and around where all the sockets are, as you can see on the wall there. All of them have been mortared in now. Let's try and hold them where they need to be. The door track on this side has been taken out. Bit messy, but only just done that, so and the guys are actually now attempting to get the other bit out as well in the corner. More electric on the wall, which you saw earlier on. And also more sockets, more holes being made, more power being found. And then in here we've had a little bit more plasterboard going up. So this wall's been put in the bathroom, this wall here's been put in the bedroom, this wall here's been put in the bedroom. So a little bit more plasterboard going up. Tomorrow is going to be ceilings, but we are waiting for the company that makes this stuff to open back up next Tuesday, so we're going to order some more, so we need more. And there's certain things we can't finish off until we have it, so a little bit awkward. The basement has actually had some plumbing work done on it today, so let's go and have a quick look at that. We've obviously done the first part of the slopes, which we saw earlier on. So they're going to be finished off, obviously, complete white mortar all the way across. But they've been started. Downstairs in the basement, so have a quick look. I'm not sure it's anything with the light, but George has been down there most of the day. Let's get the flash. Okay, so obviously got pipe work down here anyway. What George has done today, he's got the mains up onto the ceiling. All the valves on. And the main pipe is also going to be going through here. It will run all the way along here, and then this pipe here is what's coming through the patio. So the water will be connected up there, and that's the mains coming into the building. Down in this corner we will have a boiler in this corner here, which will be fed by the solar heater up on the roof. And all this part where you can see sagging down at the moment, that's all going to disappear. I wonder what the hell's going down here. There's this wall coming. Not ideal. I'm not too sure where that's come from. It must have had a leak somewhere, I've forgotten about it. Chuggers here, mosquitoes are a nightmare, it must have come out of there. Pain in the backside, because that means the mosquitoes breed. They love a bit of water. To get the pump down here straight away on that. Just got to start getting it dry down there as well. The cleaner came down the other day, as you can see she swept up, done a great job. Most of it's all out, which is great. Still got a few plumbing parts down here that need to be taken out, obviously. We still have quite a bit of formwork down here as well, which needs to be removed. So we've got formwork there around the stairwell, it's got to be removed. We've got formwork in and around some of these openings here that needs to be taken out. We've still got quite a few jacks in here which need to be removed, obviously, and then also we've got formwork all around here as well. So all this formwork's got to be removed as well. Gutted about that water. It's got to be taken out somehow, so we need to look at that in a minute. So this is the basement. As you can see, we can get a bit of fresh light down here as well. So once we actually remove all the holes upstairs, we'll have a little bit of light down here, natural light that is. But it's not been created to be a natural light area that we actually have going on. And I think that's pretty much it from that point of view. I don't think there's anything else I can mention. The windows obviously are in, we told you about that. Someone's blue brush. Because this is the electricians are all packing up and moving on. These guys are stuck in to try and remove this. It's been a bit of a get a bit. And then obviously today we had the back part done. So obviously what that looks like now. A bit of topsoil put on there. As you can see, the colour difference in the topsoil is completely different. So still plenty of work to be done here. We've got some more soil being brought back in a minute as well. So that's being done. We also scratch coated downstairs and here around the top walls today as well, so that's been done as well. But other than that, we're pretty much where we are. Still some work to be done, obviously, so I will update as and when. The guys obviously are just leaving now. They've been up on the roof, so that's been done today as well. So we've had our second coat up on the roof. That's all being pasted as we speak, so we should be now nice and waterproof and sealed. And then we've got some more topsoil coming in here in a minute, so another couple of loads. We've got 7 loads in total, but we're going to have maybe a couple dumped on here, so we can spread those out. And then we can start on the footings tomorrow, so that's the hope anyway. So the footing will come right along here, all the way over to here, all the way along past the tap there over to those orange marks on the rock, as you can see the orange marks, and then it will go all over to that wall there. And as you can see, the roof itself will come over and we'll start building the garage. That's the next. I can't see a great deal obviously happening today that I need to report on other than what I've already done. Guys have been doing the manholes at the front, so let's quickly look at how they got on with those. Other than that, we're pretty much done for the day. Alright. We've got the manhole there being done, the grease trap. That's been done on the back as well. So within reason, we're pretty much ready to start backfilling in here tomorrow. So apart from connecting up this pipe here, which will run all the way along the front, we're pretty much done where this is concerned now. There's nothing more to be done. So tomorrow we'll be putting some soil and topsoil into here to get it to level. So where these manholes here will be level all the way through. That's the aim for that. So let's see how that happens. Day 200 over and done with. Please like and share if you're listening to it. If there's anything you want to know, or you want to ask, or you want to question a little bit more, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer questions. And dial in tomorrow. I thought it would just end obviously and just showing you the roof now that the guys have done what they need to be doing. So they've been up here patching up the actual cracks, and they then put a second coat of the waterproofing over the top as well. So let's have a quick spin around and have a look. So this is pretty much where most of the cracks were coming through. So the cracks are now pretty much covered up. You can see the reaction coming through from some of the stuff they've been putting on. So all the cracks have had attention. So we had cracks going right through here. We had cracks going right through here. So they're all patched up now. And as you can see, they put another coat of the waterproof on top. We had cracks coming right through here. Can't see anything through here now. But what you should see is a reaction to the crack. So you can see like a slight line here. You can see a reaction to it because basically what the stuff is doing is going inside and reacting and pulling out and sealing the holes. So they haven't finished this part yet, I don't think. I think they're just finishing this corner, so they're coming to finish off tomorrow. So yeah, all looking pretty good. So good job done. They're also going to be waterproofing the outside of the house as well. So you waterproof up by about 4 foot to ensure that any damp coming through is protected for the basement. So they're going to be doing that as well for me. But yeah, so far it looks like they've done a great job. Well recommended. Cracking going on there. Let's have a look at that. So yeah, they've even painted over the top around the outside as well. So all the way along here, they've painted. We're also going to get this boxed up. I keep talking about it. We're going to get those boxed up and get those poured until we decide what we want to do. As you can see, the one over here as well. We're going to try and get something put over the top. Probably some form of tarpaulin. So any ideas out there? Anyone's got any idea? Let me know. Send me some details of anyone you recommend. Yeah, some form of industrial tent-like material, I think would be good. So yeah. Anyway, that's it from Barbados today. Check you out tomorrow.